What's up, guys? Typical in my fashion. Super last minute carves. Got a little work to do tonight. End up redoing a bunch of things. So it's 6:30. Feels like 10:30. This time change that got me so screwed up. I'm getting up at 2:30 now instead of 3:30. So super long days. I'm gonna see Matthew. What's going on, brother? It's been a while. I'm doing good. How are you doing, man? It's starting to come winter. Don't let the shorts fool you. It's getting cold tonight, and we got snow coming Monday. So, actually Sunday. Um, but just working on some projects. I had a really cool conversation the other day with a guy that watches on YouTube, and I was like, man, I haven't been on there in so long. So I'm gonna make an effort to get back on here a little bit more. I've just been really busy. Let me see. Cool. So right now, you can kind of pick it up a little bit. Let me see. Got a little bear, some trees. There'll be a little mountain scene. Should be able to get this done fairly quickly. Simple carve. We'll put a little more detail into the trees, into the bear. We're gonna add a little log in the bottom here, kind of tucked in behind the trees, and then we're just gonna give it the hand chiseled look over that. So 61 here today, gonna be 34. Yeah, dude. The high on Sunday, I think, is 34. And the low is like 20s. And then Monday, no, that's Monday. Yeah, I ain't made for it. I'm not ready for it. Then it's back up in the 60s in a couple days. So I'm gonna do a little carving. I'm grilling some chicken too. So in my typical fashion, I'm gonna sorry, I'm listening to myself. I gotta turn this down because it's in my headphones. It'll throw me off. I'm gonna grab check my food, throw in my mac and cheese, get my potato ready, a little bit of bread, and yeah, then we'll hop on here and we'll get this done. So goal tonight is just to get it carved out. Cool, that's holding. I got metal braces underneath this. I joined 3 pieces of wood together. I'll show you the. This is an insert for a screen door that we made. Honestly, I'm not a screen door kind of maker kind of person, so it's the first one I ever made. Milled all the wood, planed everything down. The screen's tied on there. Like things came together pretty nicely. So I got to install this tomorrow by 9 a.m. And this is the original piece that was in there. Unfortunately, the wood curved so bad. I mean, there was like a 1/2 inch bend on the right side of the wood. So debated on it for a long time, and then decided the right thing to do was just to start over. So I'll be carving this, getting this going, so you can kind of see. We'll add some of the details and everything, and then paint it in the morning. Hopefully it'll be warm enough I can just sit there and chill, maybe a little bit tonight. And then I gotta run to Home Depot, grab some trim boards, nail all that together, put some clear coat on it, install some other boards, and we can call that project done, fortunately. I'm gonna go check on my food. Again, typical my fashion. I'll be right back. So we got a few minutes. And then I'm just gonna get. Oh, don't come out. Let's see if I can get this in a little bit more. I would love to get that light on. It's okay. You can see that one in there a little bit. And then I'll take a break here in a second. I started my first on-site carving this past weekend. Dude, one, it's been a while since we've talked, kinda. No, you're wrong. Not too long ago. Two, dude, that's awesome. What are you working on? And send me some pictures, man. I'd love to see it. I actually have I gotta go the next town over. I haven't done any on-sites this year. It's been like kind of a skeleton crew for the last year or so. I've been behind on absolutely every single project. I just got married a couple weeks ago, so rocking some new bling. So now we're just playing like heavy duty catch up, and the days are super short. It's getting cold. You know, all the excuses are starting to roll in. I'm tired. My bones are achy. But anyway, that's exciting. Let me know what you're carving, brother. I'm gonna bust this out a little bit. Maybe. I'll be right back. we are back. I'm the worst YouTuber that ever existed. I think I'm not much of a YouTuber. But anyway, hold on. Hope everybody's doing good. I hope everyone's been doing good. There we go. Yeah, I guess you guys can kind of weird thing to watch me, I guess, huh? A multi-level cottage, gnome cottage. Design's been a challenge so far. Man, one thing I've learned is it never goes the way you think it's going to go. So like when I do my appraisals and all that, and maybe one day I'll sit down. I've kind of done it before. We're all gone over how to do my appraisals. But I put like in a big subsetting there, subtext that this it's not 100% accurate, right? Like it's going to change. And so when the client recognizes that, that's I said, it definitely makes things a lot easier. Baked potato? Oh yeah, probably my favorite food, steak and potato. Josh, what's happening, brother? Well, in my typical form, I don't ever plan these live, so I hopped on here while I was cooking. Should have done it after. But got some chicken wings. I just took off the grill some mac and cheese, baked potato bread, and a Diet Dr. Pepper. What I'm working on underneath this is a insert for a custom screen door that I have to install tomorrow. So the original one I had here, and pretty basic design. Let's see if I'll pull up. Yeah, you can kind of see it. There's a log here, bear, trees, mountains. Still had to be painted and everything. When I got back today from test fitting the door, this whole corner decided it was going to move, which is pretty normal. But it curled like half an inch. And so I was looking for different solutions, trying different things, trying to come up with different things. Nothing's gonna work. The only thing I can do is wet it, put some weight on it, let it settle back down. I try to do like a relief cut. Maybe it'd bring some of that tension off the board. It didn't work. So redoing it. So on the sides here, there's trees, similar design. Fortunately, it's pretty simple design. Just bare trees, mountain scene. Do the hand chiseled look, and some paint in the morning. Another Home Depot run. Been there 3 times a day, and then off to install. So I'll have some pictures up probably tomorrow after the install. Fortunately, it has an incredible view, so that makes it easier. I got to get up there about 9:30 tomorrow morning, so I figured I'll hop on here while I was doing it, give me a little energy, because this time change has screwed me up. So now I'm up at 2:30, 2 o'clock instead of 3:30. And it's cold and dark, and just getting acclimated to winter. So no steak and mustard marinade. No steak tonight. I do have some chicken wings though. No sauce either. No ranch. Just honestly stuff that I had in the fridge here. So that was a blessing. But I burnt my tongue on the mac and cheese because I took it out of the pot and put it immediately in my mouth. So, yeah. How's things going for you, brother? I probably sound like the microphone's right here, so it's got to sound disgusting listening to me eat. Um, I am a little hungry. Oh, I got married a couple weeks ago, so how to get prep for all that. October was a really busy month. Things are finally starting to settle. We got a lot of orders to catch up on. Still working on Mountain Coaster. And trying to get another coaster job locked down. So, finally get a warehouse locked down up the road from here. I will be moving into that pretty soon. And then I'll be able to film some more. I was actually like over the weekend, I was like, man, I gotta get back doing some videoing. Like even little stuff like the screen door, like I custom made the brackets from the bottom. I used my plasma cutter when I cut everything out, sanded them down. So there's a lot of cool stuff that we're doing, you know. I have to get in the habit of taking pictures and videoing stuff, but as it slows down, people wise stopping by, I'll be able to spend some more time on some things. So we've been running on a skeleton crew for a while. How much time do you have? Congrats on the wedding. Thanks, Joss. The door, I gotta be there at 9:30 tomorrow morning, if that's what you're talking about. And I gotta carve and paint this. Install it in the door. Go get some little trim pieces to frame it in tomorrow morning. And clear coat it. So, I'm supposed to be done today. He lives out of town, so he's going back home tomorrow afternoon. And this is like a rescheduled from last week, so ready to get done. And then I gotta go out to Dandridge, which is the next town over, and it's the second oldest city in Tennessee. You guys heard me talk about it quite a bit, or have in the past anyway. There's a cedar tree out there on the lake they want carved up. So, pretty standard carving, about 7-8 foot tall. Not a huge cedar tree, but it looks pretty decent. And one his arm out, holding a lantern facing the water. So, be a pretty cool piece. Fortunately, they lower the lake every winter, so the water's gonna be down. But I love working out on the lake. Can't argue with a nice warm place for the winter. No kidding. We're gonna have real winter Monday. So they're calling for snow. Like the high's like 37, Low is 20. But today was just like 70 degrees. And yesterday was like 70, so we just got this little cold front coming in. Well, I'm not ready for it. Just take your time. So it went from like fall, summer, smidge of fall to winter. So hopefully it'll just pass really quickly. I'm not trying to eat like a slob, I promise. I'm trying to eat quick. So I can at least get this base piece roughed out. This has gotta be weird. Come watch my carving page and watch me eat food. And I'll just leave for an extended amount of time on it's live, so it's alright. I'll tell you what, I'm digging this mac and cheese. I could have just made this mac and cheese and this potato. And it would have been fun. So, but a cool conversation yesterday. Yesterday, the day before. This older guy just getting into carving, which is super cool. Watches the YouTube. I was like, dude, I gotta get back on there. Gotta start doing some more stuff. So this is my first step of getting back in the routine. Everything's just been like head down, grind it out, and work. So and then next I'll just kind of it was terrible. I'll go over the steps. Like I said, it's not a super hard carve. It's not real deep. The board's only 3/4 inch. So we're just looking for some subtleness. And we'll trick the eye with a little bit of painting tomorrow. So we'll get some depth. But I gotta get it roughed out. It's only 7 o'clock. It feels like 10 o'clock at night. I'm gonna hit that second wind in a minute. I'm gonna pan that mac and cheese up. Some brand I got at Aldi. It's like a white cheddar and pepper. It's great. I am ready for a mustard covered steak. Yeah. We had the wedding. We did like a little local honeymoon for now, which is beautiful. A nice cabin in the woods, and like we went out and played tourist. And I don't want to sound bad or anything, but like I didn't run into anybody recognize me. So I was able just to kind of really relax. Which, I mean, that sounds egotistical, but I don't mean it that way at all. Alright, well, I think I'm about done. Yeah, I'm just trying to eat as fast as I can. Sad part is I made all this chicken. I wasn't even feeling it. Okay. Whew. Alright. I'm gonna put this stuff away. I gotta grab a charger because my phone's about to die. And I'll be right back. Okay. Back to the grind. Are you going for a warmer honeymoon in February? Man, that's the goal. My mother-in-law bought a house down in Florida. Somewhere in the Panhandle, on the Gulf side. So I'd like to get down there. But February is our slowest. I'm kind of busy at the month at the same time because we get more businesses wanting to get some stuff done. Because everything kind of slows down for them. And this commercial job work is lined up for us, so I don't know how slow it's going to be, but I would love to. I'd love to get away. Last week was so nice. I've been here, I work 6 days a week, long days. So it was nice to like really disconnect. Like I felt so refreshed when I got here. So I'm going to try to learn how to balance things out a little bit better. Make sure. Alright, so all I did was like move some material around the trees back. Just a little bit because I'm not stressing. I gotta come in with my chisel bit. Excuse me. And all this to get chiseled. So we're gonna do like a mountain scene here, another little mountain range, and then all this will just get. We'll make this like a little moon or sun or something right here, because why not? It's right there naturally. So we'll bring that mountain range in, give it some little hills, a little sky up here. We'll take this knot. I don't know if it's showing up on the camera or not. Yeah, a little bit. So we'll take this knot here. Use that for a sun. So the only thing I got to do is I'm going to carve a log here. Yep. Design changed a little bit, but that's all right. Get out of the cold for a day or two. Oh, dude, I don't know how you do it up there in Canada. It's all I can handle here, so don't be fooled that I'm wearing shorts, because it was a nice day, but it's dropping quick right now. And the moon tonight, it's a full moon, I guess, but dude, it was like the biggest moon I've ever seen in my entire life. It was like cresting over the mountain range. I don't know. It was the biggest thing I've ever seen, so. Alright. Oh. I gotta grab a couple tools.
All right. Got caught up in conversation. Let's get after it, because I'm getting tired.
Alright, so I'm gonna take this get the layout. Have you ever used Ryobi power carver? I've seen them at the Home Depot. I have not used the Ryobi stuff, but Vander is a big Ryobi guy. And I've been kind of a Milwaukee fanboy lately. So I've been acquiring some of their stuff as they come on sale. But Vander loves his Ryobi stuff. And I left mine in my wife's truck, all my tools. So I've been using Ryobi stuff. And I'll tell you what, they're great tools. So I was on Cobalt forever just because, you know, you kind of get a battery deal, and you stick with that, and then yeah, like I said, I've just been slowly converting to Milwaukee. I'll be right back.
Alright. Welcome back to the worst YouTube channel in existence. I bought this. We're going to get some texture. And move some material in the background. Everything's kind of softly laid out. And we'll get it done. Hopefully we're good for a while. Oh, you can't even see. Let's see. Move this. The light is so dull in here. Oh. Might go right there. It's better. It's working. Get on that. What I'm gonna do. I'm gonna steal the light off the CNC though. Maybe it'll be enough to kind of shine. Oh yeah, look at that. We're carving now. Okay. Throw this on top of there. Let's unhook the vacuum. And we're gonna add texture, so I'm using this rounded bit here. Rounded router bit. And this is going to give us a hand chiseled look. The nice thing about this is it also moves a lot of material. So we're just going to do short, long, randomized strokes. Stereotypical with an actual chisel. You know, sometimes that grain, you get a little longer pulls, a little softer pulls. And we're just going to follow through. So just like softly laid, my mountain range down. And I'm not super worried about pushing everything necessarily because I'm going to do a lot with this. We'll come back with the Dremel. We'll cut everything in. We'll add texture to everything. And then we'll burn it. Hit it with a brush. We'll be done. So really within the next 30 to 45 minutes, get this piece finished up. Helps if you plug it in. So you see how fast it is, actually. So we're just adding like a chisel texture in the background. We're making everything else pop. And you can kind of see the bear, the little log he's walking on. And I like to use the trees and the sides to kind of give it more depth, but it also kind of frames everything in at the same time. So, I'm kind of carve the lines, get rid of the lines, carve the lines, get rid of the lines. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take the Dremel again. I'm going to come back in and just kind of cut behind all these little things and give it just a little bit more. So once I get done with that, I'm going to take another bit. I'm going to add fur to the bear. I'm going to start pushing some of this around the belly, push this down a little bit. Like it's going in the screen door, right? So we're trying to achieve depth, but not go too crazy. So we're gonna cheat the eye a little bit with some paint. But then you're gonna have multi-textures here. So like the screen door itself, all the framing is milled, plain down cedar, smooth finish. There's black metal brackets that hold everything together. So you got the smooth cedar, the black metal, and this is going at the bottom of the door, right? So this is just gonna make the texture on this just pop even further. And so what we'll do is we'll come in, give the tree some texture. The tree that's laid down that the bear is walking on, let's give it some texture as well. Give the bear some fur. And we're gonna burn the whole thing. And the burning is gonna get rid of some of these frays in the wood. Right? It's gonna raise up some of the hard grain by pushing the soft grain down. I was gonna say it's gonna help seal it, but it's not really doing any of that. We're not burning it heavy enough to do that. But what we'll do, we'll brush it afterwards. It's really gonna soften everything back up again. So even though we have these hard lines, these hard textures, it's gonna look soft at the same time. It's gonna look rich, because once we get it all painted, we'll come back in with a stain. We'll rub the stain all over everything so it'll pull natural colors in. We're gonna water down some paint. We're gonna give different layers. We're gonna have like some really darker greens up here that are gonna fade into like, the purplish hue of the mountains, and then like a really soft skyline, right? And so we're gonna keep this knot as the sun. We'll add some orange, some yellows. Like I said, we're just gonna water everything way down. And so it still has like this, again, like a soft feel, multi-layered within this little piece here. So all that to say, let's keep going. So I'm actually going to fur everything and then use the Dremel. So I see there's a lot of textures going on right now. My hands are getting cold, a little crampy. We're on the very downhill side. I'm sure on the camera everything's just looking kind of blended together. And if you're looking at it, even as I'm looking at it right now, it still feels the same, right? Things kind of blending. So I'm going to take this Dremel. You see how prominent the trees are? I'm going to come back in and just put some hard lines in the mountains. Let those pop out just a hair more. What's up, Glenn? Hope you're doing good, brother. Yeah, I'm just gonna go not too crazy. Again, we're cheating depth. Cheating depth. And just kind of cutting everything in. So far so good. I like it. And then what we'll do, like I said, is come back in, we'll burn it, brush it, soften everything back up. So. point where we're ready for paint. So I think it's a good stopping point for the night. Got exactly what I wanted to get done. We'll get up early tomorrow. Get here early tomorrow. Start painting. Let everything dry. We can start on it at 6. By 9 o'clock, be a few hours, and we'll be good to go. So I do have a couple little things I got to do to the door to get it finished up. It's kind of dragging on, so customer's ready for it to be done. I am ready for it to be done. So let's see if I can. See if that picks it up enough. Again, this is a little bit of a depth. Like I said, we're gonna make the depth by the paint. So you can see this right here is pretty prominent. It's gonna be black, brown, obviously. I guess let's do this. I'll show you. I forgot I wasn't wearing the microphone. Hold on. Okay, that's got to be better. So, I'll kind of lay this up so you guys can see, and then we'll call it a night. I'll take a little walk. I'm going to see if I can kind of set this up in a ways because I'm going to have to move. That might hold for a second. Alright, so this is the back side of the door. Can you see it? Okay, yeah. All these are custom made. These I did purchase. I wasn't able to get the same one in these corner brackets. And they have this little ornate design on the sides. And so what I did is I took a piece of flat metal, cut them out, grinded them, painted them, so that way they all match. And then the piece we've been working on is going to slide on the bottom here. I'm just trying to set it to where we're not getting pressure on that screen at all, because I don't want to stretch it out. And what's funny is I didn't test fit this. Like a glove. I'm just gonna set it in there for right now. Let's see if we can get a little close up. I wish the camera was better on my tablet. Let's see if I can turn some lights on real quick. These ones down. Might be a little better. Again, so everything we've been doing is kind of blending the bottom here, but all this will be painted. All this will be lightly sanded, so that red will come right back out. But that is our custom-made screen door. So, wood that we milled on site here. Let's see if I can pop this back out. I'm gonna set you guys down for a second.
see if I can do that again. Oh. Oh. Okay. Just hold for me for a minute. Let's try this. Maybe it'll hold, maybe it won't. So that's it, guys. Kind of a long form video. Got to watch me eat, got to watch me disappear for a little bit, got to watch me carve. It's a little full video, I guess. But I'm gonna do some more on YouTube. So it's been a while. I'm gonna try to do like some shorts here and there, and then just kind of show a little stuff that we're doing. Not to go too crazy. I'm not like a social media carver, right? Like I do this for a living, and so that's more priority than this is. But I want to include you guys on the cool stuff that we get to do. And so, again, first time I've ever made a screen door in my entire life. The wife wants one for the house now, but we'll probably do something different on the bottom. And I got to learn a lot. So a few things I would definitely change on the next one, but hey, that's part of it. But I'm gonna let you guys go. I love you guys. God bless. Comment if you got any prayer requests. Email us at fatbobswoodco.com. If you have any questions, concerns, again, prayer requests, whatever you guys need. You can check us out on Facebook, Fat Bob's Woodco, fatbobswoodco.com. I'm working on a new merch site, Fat Bob's Woodco merch. Waiting on some test products to come in for that. And we'll actually be able to drop ship anywhere all over the world. So, working on that, like I said, behind the scenes. But I love you guys. Thank you for joining me on this journey of changing the world one piece at a time. Tomorrow I will post the pictures, and I love you guys. God bless. We'll see you soon.